we're back. Mafia Unveiled, John and Gene show. You kick it.
What's up, everybody? So today is an episode that touches home. I grew up in Ozone Park, Howard Beach. I was friendly with everybody. You know, everyone. You know, people that really know me, not the guys that talk from Idaho about me, but everyone knows me from the 5 boroughs. I was friends with everybody, and I was really good friends with the Rogerios. Junior was a buddy of mine. I was in prison in Long Island, Nassau County, with him, and I used to meet him at church. And we had did an episode with this guy stating that he had beat Junior up in his cell. Now, I'm not just saying this now.
Tim Angelini.
I never believed it. I like Tim Angelini, but I never believed the story, and I'm going to tell you why. Junior didn't hide behind the Mafia or the name. Junior used to cripple people, beat them up badly. I watched this guy pummel people since I'm young. He beat one of my friends up really bad, made him look like the Elephant Man, and let you hit him back. By the way, he's built like a bull, so when you ever seen Junior, he's like a 260-pound guy, but solid. And him and his brother Lewis were both really tough and strong guys. And when I had heard the story, I never believed it. I'm not saying that he's lying, but maybe things, you know, I don't know. I would have to see that to believe that. I watched him hurt so many people. I watched him beat Ronnie Solano all over a park. I watched him beat a lot of guys, and Ronnie Solano could fight. I watched him beat up a lot of guys in Nassau County. He was knocking people out in prison. Like I said, I used to meet him in church, and he used to tell me not to talk to certain people. You know, he always had my back because, you know, a few times he was supposed to do something to me. He rang my doorbell one time. I went down, and I thought he was going to beat me up, and instead he started laughing. He's like, what'd you do? And I was, you know, I was like 20. I was like happy about it, you know. So, I mean, I always got along with him. And my personal opinion is that I don't think nobody beat him up. From the story I was told from the neighborhood was that he was walking the yard and something had happened, and he actually got extra time for something in the yard, that there was no altercation, there was no fight. And the reason why I do believe it, and I'm almost 98% sure I believe that story, is because I know them personally. These guys never hid behind the name. They will knock you out cold. They'll beat you up. You know, he was known tough guy in prison. So, like I said, it's possible anyone could lose a fight, but that situation, I personally don't believe it at all. I think Junior would not let nobody get the better of him. If he did, I think that there's no way you could stay there with him. He's not going to stop. So that's my opinion of that situation. Like I said, I looked out for his daughter while he was in prison. A guy disrespected his daughter. I went to the guy's house, tried to drag him out. Little John Burke, that junkie. His father's John Burke, the other junkie. They put pictures up of his daughter. I went to the house, tried to drag him out of his fucking house. Everyone knows that story. The whole time I shot at somebody. I thought Junior's daughter was in the fucking car. I said, I went there, I'm sorry. I was trying to get some kid. I was shooting into a car. She wasn't in there, thank God. But, you know, I always have respect for them. And they knew I was a real kid. They were best friends with my Lewis was best friends with my cousin Johnny Boy. They were best friends growing up. You know, so like I said, whatever I did, I know he wasn't happy with, you know, the way things turned out. He even told me if I would have stood where I was supposed to, none of this would have happened. I kicked myself in the ass like that a lot of times. All the Gambino guys used to tell me that, but it is what it is now. And I just want to say that's my opinion. I'm not saying it to kiss ass or brown nose. That's my opinion of him. I state my opinion. I like Tim Angelini as well, but I don't believe that Junior ever got beat up in prison. That's my opinion.
I mean, I know the Rogerios since they're kids. I know the father since I was around working with the father since I'm young.
Yeah.
And they know I used to be at the house when the father was very sick at the grandmother's house, and I'd go see him no matter, even when I wasn't supposed to be going to see him, because we all got told not to go there. But anyway, he's a tough kid, no doubt. And my son said the same thing in the neighborhood. And I know him since he's a baby. He is a tough kid. He knows the life. He was a good kid. And so was his brother. His older brother was a good kid.
Move the mic a little bit.
But his older brother was a good kid too. You know, kid. He was, you know, a friend of ours. He was more of a clowny guy. His brother, his older brother. He wasn't like serious.
The one that
like
passed away?
Yeah, Johnny Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim Angelini, I do know also from the street. And
Tim
Angelini, you know, did get shot. Well, he didn't get shot in the head, but it hit his ear.
Right.
And they were in a shootout, and, you know, I know the guy, Fernandez, that killed the guy. So I know these guys. You know, I know them from killings. I know them from, you know, doing some, you know, armed robberies. I know them. They used to set up some armed robberies. They were serious guys. He was he came in the joint when I was there, when I beat up that pedophile. I didn't know he was a pedophile. After they told me, I put the mop handle across his head a couple of times. I know you guys know that story. They told you the story, whatever. But I seen the way he handled himself. Now, sometimes things get told the wrong way, or somebody exaggerates or whatever the story is. But the fight started over Jimmy Catacamo. And Jimmy Catacamo was an informant. Frankie Sealy, still around.
But did Junior know he was an informant?
He stuck up for him. He didn't know he was an informant, but he was an informant.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. He also made a mistake on his end. He was sticking up for a guy that was an informant, that was meeting the FBI. He was giving me up. He asked Frank Sealy to join him, and Frank Sealy refused to. Now, Frank Sealy never cooperated. He was in jail for a serious case at one time, an attempted murder. He beat the case. Now, Jerry Bruno married his cousin. Right. So there is, when people know the guy's still around the neighborhood, they can ask him. He tried to get him to go in with him and talk against me. Later on, me and you put on the 911 tapes that he was putting out.
What happened to that video?
I don't know. It's out there somewhere.
It's out there. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, and we had how many tapes? 20 tapes. We put about 3 or 4.
He's 911
But
calls.
he also, and again, the guy's dead now, so, I don't want to talk too much about him. But he did go, he checked in Pinellas County to Suicide Watch. There's a guard actually who just wrote me. When I came into the joint, he knew I was coming in. He went to Suicide Watch. So, and guys know that. Guys like Butter, that one from this neighborhood in Tampa. There's a lot of guys that were out there at the time. So he made a mistake, and he had a problem with a guy over a guy that was actually a rat. And then later on, they're calling Timmy and whatever he did. I'm not sure what Timmy did. So whatever Timmy did or didn't do is, here or there, because as far as the fight's concerned, we weren't there. Do I believe Rogerios didn't get beat up? Yes. I think Rogerios is.
Yeah,
anybody can get beat up.
I'm not just saying this. He's a strong dude, bro.
Yeah, he is. But Timmy's also very strong.
Yeah, I know. I went at it.
But Rogerios is a tough kid.
Oh,
he's strong, do I believe? Bro. I think if he lost, he would have just said, get the better.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody gets beat up. I got beat up I don't know how many times.
I watched him hit one guy in the side, bro. He hit a guy in the side in the park. The guy looked like a tree. He tipped over, bro. I'm telling you.
But the reason why I think he's a tough kid is not because of how strong he is or anything, but he fought.
Yeah.
And he didn't use, like you said earlier, he didn't use his father. He didn't use the mob.
He let you fight him back.
You got to respect him for those things.
Yeah, he would square up with you.
And I legitimately like those kids, the whole family. And his cousin Jamie and his sister Danielle. I like all of them.
Yeah.
I know them since they're literally babies. So you grew up with them in a different way.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to our sponsor now.
We sponsored by Full Service Auto Transport. Full service. We do specialize in car, motorcycles, heavy equipment. We open and close transport. We ship nationwide. And 5-star rated all over the place. If you need anything for free, check us out, fullserviceautotransport.com, or call Rob directly at 561-414-6096.
Thank you, everybody. Let's get back to our show.
I watched him pummel people, you know what I'm saying? I watched him. He was one generation a little older than me. So when we used to go to the parks, they were the guys that everybody was scared of, you know what I mean? So they would come in the park and shut the park down and make sure nobody's doing nothing, hold down the neighborhood. And then he caught that case in 2006 and went away for, that 10 years, and Dave Darpino set him up in the cell and got him more time as well. And when Junior threw him out the cell and said, I know what you're doing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He tried to go in the cell with a wire on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dave Darpino went in the cell and tried to get him.
And what was that for the shooting of Vito?
No. They tried to do something with Peter. It was something where they were trying to implicate Junior in something, and Junior goes, "I know what you're doing." Threw him out the cell and got extra time for that. Yeah, Dave Darpino was doing like cunt rag shit. Excuse my language. He was trying to set people up in cells. He was doing a lot of fucking bullshit. He got chased by a guy in the neighborhood and ran.
I know when the guy chased him, him and Burks got chased. And they came to me to go handle it. And, I was like, what happened? They told me what happened. And also, I'm not a big fan of Darpino either, because they were going to kill him. And they called me up and asked me, should we save this kid? And I said, yeah, let him go. But then when I was in the penitentiary in Brazil, his buddy wasn't giving me my money.
I'm not wearing no wire. I don't care what anyone tells me. I know I went bad. I'm not wearing no wire. I would just took my time. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not. You got to be something special to do that. I don't know. It's just different to me.
These guys, listen.
Yeah. I sat in jail for 20 months. I didn't want to do this for nothing. I literally was trying to do anything but that. And my little brother had this. It was so much things against me. Like, people know who I really am. That's what gets me mad. But it is what it is. It's the way it turned out.
Again, when I was making money, all these guys were around me. These guys were all around me. Mm-hmm. I told them to take care of Johnny Burke when he was in jail.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give Johnny Burke money to his family. Yeah. And then Johnny Burke threatened him that he was going to rat if he didn't get money. So for the people that don't know all the stories.
His brother Tony Burke tried to come to a sit down against me over something because I hated his.
How's Tony Burke going to come?
I hated John Burke's son because he used to act like a gang member, Crip. He used to be like a little wannabe Crip. And I had beef with that kid Nelly. I was trying to kill the kid Nelly. And he was hanging out with him. I says, if I catch you hanging out, I'm going to get you too. And he wouldn't listen. And I fired into their car. I tried to get and the son was in there, and Tony Burke tried to come and do a sit down with Ronnie. Ronnie told him, like, you're nobody. Like, Tony Burke, like, what are you?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You should smoke crack. I don't know.
Yeah, they're fucking nobodies.
But he married a cop.
Yeah, I don't care about
them. He was but I'm saying. So when these guys are talking like this,
the respect was that
the
only respect I have for John Burke's son is that he went out with Junior Ruggiero's daughter, Brianna. That's the only respect I had for that kid. Other than that, he was lunch meat to me. I didn't respect his junkie father. I didn't respect his fucking junkie uncle. I didn't care about none of them. To me, they were just drug addicts that killed people by accident. I don't care about them people. I respected Junior Ruggiero. That was it. He was going out with Junior's daughter. And I felt bad. I shot into the car because his daughter could have been in the car. And I went there and I apologized because I have respect for them. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't care about the Burks at all.
What I was going to say is I don't care that he was married to a cop. It's the way they talk.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean anything bad or good. But in their world, they they say certain things, and then later on, they come in like this, but then they leave out the part that he married a cop. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Yeah. I'm not bringing it up because I think there's something wrong with it. I'm bringing it up because they want to play all sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Johnny, because I know John Burke was personally worked under you, and everyone tries to make it like he was like this leader. That was your guy.
So I told him to tie my shoes.
He
tied my shoes.
I'm just saying, everyone knew that. He was your guy.
And
let's talk the real stories. They were going to kill John Burke over my cousin Francine.
Yeah.
Okay? And then my cousin Anthony had to beg him not to kill him. All right? Please.
Johnny was going and he left. And I told people, listen, I ain't going to badmouth the guy past telling the truth. He left Citrus County twice. The dirty white boys let me know that he went to the prosecutor's office. Yeah. So I know what he did too. He couldn't cut himself a deal, but he went. That's it.
Let's talk about
these guys. But anyway, it
doesn't
matter.
I'm going to leave some of the horrible things he did to his family alone. We'll just leave that alone. So we'll just table it for another time. If they say something back, I'll say what he did to his own children. All right? We'll get into that another time. Okay? So other than that, anything else?
No, I mean, listen, these stories on his behalf, nobody likes when a story's not truthful.
Right.
And it's the same thing I just said because these guys, and I'm going to bring up, what's his name? Jesse. Frankie's little brother was a lawyer.
Right.
We warned all of them the guy was no good.
Right.
They didn't want to hear it. None of them wanted to hear it. And so he was no good. So these guys are wrong because they took him in, and then they talked highly of him later on.
Right.
And you imagine, so then when they don't like a story that's not true about them, they got to understand it. How about the rest of it? Tell the whole full story then. So, and the reason why we're clearing this up is because we're giving him exactly what most of us don't like. Right. When something's not true, then, they should say what's the truth. Listen, here's your end. And we'll let Timmy come back and tell a version again. And listen, everybody can judge what they want. But us, personally, we do know the kid. So I know if he lost the fight, he would say it. Yeah. Mina Ruggiero, he would say
100%.
it. And he's not that type of kid.
Yeah.
So he would be not a kid man now, but he's not that type. He was legitimately a tough kid. Eddie liked him. Mm-hmm. So I know guys that that we grew up with that liked him, said good things about him too.
Yeah, 100%. And I never heard a bad thing about him.
No. Since they're babies, I got to tell the truth.
There's never been, and the cousin Jamie will give you the shirt off his back. Jamie literally, like I says on another story, he takes care of Richie Boy Gialonzo. He literally made him have a home if it wasn't for him. Jamie literally took care of a lot of his friends, bro. That's all I could say about that. Whatever. They're good people. That's all. That's my opinion, and that's facts. All right, that's all. Junior, I don't believe got beat up in a jail cell. We could have Tim Angelini back on, and we could talk about it again. It's a great debate, but I feel knowing and growing up around that guy, he was built like a bull. He hit like an ox, and he was always not one of those guys. Put your hands down. You can fight him back. Good luck. Good luck with a 270-pound solid guy.
Well, you got to respect anybody who's going to fight, not use titles and names and groups of guys. And I know he wasn't that guy. He fought. So you got to say that, listen, he took care of his, win or lose, he's going to fight you. And most likely he's going to beat most of the guys he's going to fight.
Right.
But you got to respect him. In the street, you got to respect him.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But, who knows what, with Timmy and what, Timmy's version of the story. But again, Timmy's version, I knew Timmy another way also. I knew him from, years before. He did a lot of time. And then I also knew him from the street. And he stayed with a group of guys that were killing.
Yeah.
You know, and shooting it out, not just killing, but they were shooting at him. They had a shootout in the parking lot of the, you know, for the people who don't know where Shangri-La's was, that was at Shangri-La's. So, and then also the group he stayed with, they killed a couple other guys. Right. Actually, they were going to kill Jimmy Catacano at my club. I stopped them. They were laying in the bushes for him. And I just happened to come in town before I went on the run. And I go, and somebody told me they were laying on him, and I stopped them or they were going to hit him.
Junior got caught up with that case when they shot the guy over Vinny Gotti's wife. Remember
that?
The
bagel store.
Sapienza. Angelo Sapienza. Which I know Angelo Sapienza good. My dad grew up with him. But he got shot up, and that's what he got caught up on, that case. Right. Yeah. All right, guys. Like, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Gene Borello. John Alite is Instagram. Like I said, this is an episode. There's going to be a lot of conflict over it, but it is what it is. So, John.
Oh, we want to give both sides and show respect to them also, because nobody wants a story, like I said, good or bad or indifferent. You want the truth to come out. And again, we try to be truthful in everything we hear. And, you know, unlike a lot of guys out there, they want to tell fake stories and bullshit. And if you don't like a guy or you like a guy, you still got to come out and tell the truth about the guy. So we try to keep it as real as possible. We just happen to like this guy and his family. So for the people who don't know, and his father was a great guy to me. I got nothing bad to say. And I've always said I liked him. So everybody, if you like it, subscribe, watch us, follow us, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.